All right, so today I'm going to talk about two paths that you can take if you're wanting reliable income in your spiritual business. Yeah, this is another video in the spiritual growth hacking series. In the last video, we talked all about spiritual business success without a budget, which is why in this video, we're going to talk about how to start getting that repeatable income, which will make budgeting so much simpler. Okay, let's get to it. All right, let's get to it. I'm really excited to share this with you today because I know personally how devastating it can be when you have no idea what's going on in your business. Yes, you've set up the budget. You know what you need. You know your number. And you know why you have your number. You've done all the math that's necessary. But the income's kind of going like this and like this and like this and like this. Right? That has just been part of my entrepreneurial journey. And it was part of my journey that I really got sick of. Right? I could understand some highs and lows because in a regular business, you are going to have highs and lows. But I didn't want it like this anymore, right? I wanted, like, this is a baseline. I didn't want to do this. I wanted to kind of do this. So how do we get to the point of doing that? How do we get to the point of always making the minimum and more and maybe having slight ups and downs, but it's nothing to be worried about? Well, like I said earlier, there are two awesome paths. So path number one is active engagement, right? You want to be actively engaged with people. This means that you are going in, day out, and you are doing something. So what is that something? That something could be a couple of things like this. So you could have a group program where you have several people that are coming in, you are working with them as a group. They're each paying X amount of money, whatever it is, and you can start doing the math on this. Like, don't be afraid. If you know that you did your number, and I'm just using round numbers here to make the math easy right now. Let's say it's going to be $10,000 was your number for the month. And you knew that you want to have a group program. You thought to yourself, well, I think I could have about 10 people in my program. How much would 10 people need to be paying you every month so you can get to $10,000 a month? That's right, $1,000. So when you start doing this, the math gets pretty darn easy. And furthermore, if you know you want to do a group program and you only want to offer it 6 months out of the year, so maybe 12 months out of the year, then you got to double that, right? Instead, they need to be looking at paying $2,000 a month if you're only going to do with this with 10 people. But if you're going to do it with, let's say, 20 people or 40 people, that could drive the cost down. So really start thinking about, how are you going to do this? Are you going to do multiple small groups, one really large group? And what would you offer, right? That's a way so that you know month in, month out, there's a certain amount of money that is coming in. You can do the same thing with one-on-one clients, right? If it's the same scenario, figure out how many clients could you possibly serve at the same time during that 1 month time frame. Because in essence here, you are trading time for dollars, right? And there's not as much leverage with that one-on-one, but there's a lot more personal attention, which is why you can charge a bit more. You might also look at one other solution, which might be a really good hybrid for you. So you might look at a membership program. So some people can join your membership program and they maybe get, let's say you do a group call once or twice a month. And they can come on that call, they can ask questions, you can provide new material, information, downloads, card readings, whatever it is that you do. Then let's say also there's an upgrade in that membership program where they do get some one-on-one time with you. So you can start looking at, some people are going to pay you a little bit more because they're going to do that one-on-one attention. And some people are just going to be in that group membership program where they get to pay a little less. But that really leverages your time and, more importantly, as we're talking about, builds in that consistent income. So if you want to learn a little bit more about that, some of the statistics behind how long do people stay in membership programs, what gets them to stay in membership programs, or in small group programs that go for 90 days, 6 months, a year, let me know down in the comments, because I would be happy to share that information with you. Because sometimes having all the information, being able to run all the numbers allows you to make the best decision possible. All right, before we get to the second part, I want to invite you to Banish Business Overwhelm. This is my masterclass. It is free, and it is all about those things that can get you really overwhelmed in business, some of those psychological triggers that can happen that we have kind of roaming around in our heads, and how to banish them, forget. This isn't one of those master classes you take where it's just some information that teases you with this and that. No, I get into brass tacks in this master class, so I would love you to jump over to banishbusinessoverwhelm.com and sign up. You get instant access. All right, so let's look at the second path. The second path is passive engagement. Okay, passive engagement. That means that you're not necessarily interacting in the same way. So passive engagement would be something like a DIY course or program. So it's just something that maybe you've gone through with one of your groups. Remember, we talked about group programs earlier. Maybe you've done this with a group. You recorded the whole thing, and now you're going to sell it, and people can take themselves through it. And then all you're doing is you're driving people to that course to purchase, right? You can decide to list at full price. You can decide to do flash sales with it. But the point is, if you consistently have a way to drive people to that course, then you have a consistent source of revenue, which is on autopilot, right? It's evergreen. It's that kind of idea of making money in your sleep. That's where it comes from. So that is one really good way to nail that down. But you have to know you've got a good course. You have to know you have a way to send people to the material so that they're willing to purchase that course. All right, so what is another way you can do this passively? What's another way of passive engagement? That would be affiliate marketing. So let's say below this video I said, I'm going to share some of the equipment that I use to make videos. So I put in there an affiliate link to Amazon for my laptop, my lights, my whole rig that I have in front of me, my camera, my Blue Yeti mic, right? I put in a link to all of that stuff, and you thought, man, I like the quality of her videos. I like what she's doing. And you click the link and you go there and buy. That's affiliate marketing. I really think some people do affiliate marketing and they're sharing things that are, well, they don't necessarily believe in or they don't use. And I really don't believe that's true affiliate marketing. It's supposed to be based on word of mouth. It's supposed to be based on things that you love that you would naturally share with people anyway. So find out what that is for you. I'm sure there's stuff on Amazon that you love. Signing up for their affiliate program's a breeze. It makes little increments of money. I don't even remember how much it is. It might be 1 to 3%. It might be something a little less than that. I'm really not sure. But there's all sorts of things out there that you can do affiliate marketing with. You will be surprised how many companies are happy to do an affiliate fee if you'll share your story. All right, so one of the things I really want to know is, are you liking what's going on in this business growth hacking series? Are you loving the information that I'm sharing with you in this video? If so, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. You don't want to miss anything out of this series. It's going to be so much fun. I've got plenty more to share with you. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is, hey, I mentioned before, you've got to be able to have people know and go to these things, right? They've got to know that you have coaching available. They've got to know that you have a group program. They've got to know that you have that DIY course. They've got to know about these offers that you're sharing that are affiliate offers, right? You've got to know about these things. So all of this heavily depends upon a predictable way for you to get clients, right? That's huge. You have to have a predictable way to get clients. It's like all good plans can go to waste if it's missing this small little piece. So I'm going to ask you some questions here. Do you know your client archetype? Like, who is your client? You might have heard this as target client or target market or client avatar. I call it client archetype. Do you know your client archetype? Do you know who they are? Do you know their demographics? Do you know their psychographics? What else do you know about them? Do you have one? It's probably even more important. Do you have a particular person that you think of when you are talking in your materials, when you're talking on social media, if you do videos like this, when you're talking to other people about the person you serve? Who are you thinking about in your mind? Because having that clarity in your mind will make all the difference in other people knowing who they can send your way. Do you know how to magnetically attract your client archetype? Do you know how to make sure that they find you? I mean, the world, the internet, it is a crowded place. I mean, no lie. There's a lot of people doing a lot of different things, and some of them are kind of like what you do too, right? So how do you magnetically attract your client archetype? Do you know how to do that? Is that one of those things that you've got dialed in so that you are essentially their lighthouse? You are a beacon to all that you serve. How are you their beacon? How do they see you? What are the things that you're doing on a daily basis to be visible? And last and certainly not least, what are you doing to convert your client archetype into a paying customer? How do you even get them on your email list? How do you get them to that landing page? What are the mechanisms that you already have in place, or would like to put in place, or would like to know what the heck you need to have in place to make those things happen? Again, let me know down in the comments your answer to these 3 really important questions, and if you would like me to dive further into them in later videos. So with that, I say peace, joy, love to you.